Okay, recording as of right now.
Good. As soon as we're done, then, would you do me a favor and send me the link to the recording and Bob a link to the
Yes, I will.
recording?
A good idea because a lot of this, Bob, is going over the site itself, but also going over the home seller sales presentation tool. So we are recording, and Dennis, thank you again for your support and opportunity to get together. And Mike and Bob, we sure look forward to supporting you, and also Sean and Matt. Any way we can assist and support you, let us know. But I totally on the same page, Dennis. What I thought we'd cover today is going over the site, see if there are any questions, feedback there, but then focus on the sales presentation features and programs that we have for you, okay?
Okay.
So let me flip over here, if I might, to the site. And I presume everybody can see the screen. If you can't, let me know. Okay. So the site is set up right now, using the Eureka information, which is fine to show. It's got the featured listings, it's got the broker search, the social piece, the featured agents commercial, the spotlights as we call it. So all pieces are there, able to show. Ideally, able to show local agents, local properties, et cetera, would be better, but they get the idea. And Pulse is ready and able, Dennis and your crew, to put live any local information for you, so that Mike is showing it and Bob's out in the field, selling it. You're showing, the local properties and local agents, brokers, and a local search. So we stand ready to get that delivered. As of right now, as you see, the site is...
Your audio is going in and out, John. Your audio keeps going in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this better?
Yeah, it just goes in and out randomly. So
okay.
I'm not sure. You might, if you're trying through the VoIP, it's just fuzzing out on you. So.
Well, we've had some trouble with GoToMeeting, so I apologize for that on their end. So I'll continue here, and if not, I'll record this and re-record it and send
it. Just did it again.
Okay. So any questions?
Okay. Yeah, just did it again. So.
Any questions or feedback on the site?
Well, I'm looking at it, but I'd like you to explain it to us as if we're 3-year-olds, because it's the first time we've seen this product. So
I'm sorry.
Why don't you treat us like a realtor? Treat us like you're a realtor, like we're realtors, and sell me on it. And give me your 5-minute pitch. How does that sound?
Be happy to, and then I'll follow up and show you the actual presentation materials we've got for you. So. If I was out there selling on the street today in Vacaville, one of the things I would focus on is the extreme fragmentation in how people get information today on where they should list their home, but also sources to buy and find out homes available locally. And I would focus on the ability of the local community papers, the NorCal papers, to deliver buyers, and also to be able to effectively market their listings, to their audience, that a significant percentage of them are missed by their existing sites. So I would focus on the ways that the agent can market their individual listings through this right here, which is a rotating featured listing. And in the business model, it'll be limited to 10, Mike. And these will rotate randomly as people access the site. So it's a great way for them to promote and get traction and buyers for their new listings. So that's front and center right on the site, okay? Also from this listing, you can email the agent, you can go to the agent site. One of the things we've learned in about 25 years of doing real estate programs is the agents want traffic to their sites. And so throughout the program, we've got the ability to drive those eyeballs right to the agent site, and obviously get them buyers and interest in individual properties, because we're able to track phone calls, we're able to track emails. one of the key features on this, Mike, and it's a non-MLS site, meaning we're not importing the data because there's no relationship with the local MLSs, and this has been very effective across the country, and it's being used in Eureka right now, the sister paper, and that's a broker-sponsored search. And in the business model here, Dennis is talking up to 4 brokers on a rotating basis being the search link. So how does that work? In Eureka, Mingtree is the search broker. So a person can search by property location. So let's put in here Eureka, the property type. Let's use single family. They can search by price, minimum price here. Let's put in 200,000. Let's put in 3 bedrooms. Let's put in 2 baths. And what happens here is that the search results will be displayed from that broker's site. So they get the benefit of those new opportunities driven by the NorCal site. And so even though the listing might not be a Mingtree listing, they're going to get the lead. So when a person then responds to that, that particular property and they want to get more information, et cetera, when they email it or call, that lead goes to Ming Realtor. So it's a heck of a great way for a broker to get more buyer leads for their broker, their office. So that's one of the key features here.
But hold on, just let me ask a question. When they're clicking that search, they're not seeing the entire MLS database. They're seeing the database the broker has pulled from the MLS, correct?
Well, they're getting in most cases, Mike.
That's correct. It depends on
in most cases, the broker has all the listings, all the MLS listings.
Exactly. That's why. So when you said they're not looking at the MLS, they're looking at the broker. What you mean is they're simply looking at the MLS through the eyes of the broker. The broker has already pulled all those listings, and then thus you're generating more buyers for them because all leads go directly to them to become the buyer agent.
Yeah,
I get it.
So what I meant to say was, regardless of who's got the listing, it goes to Mingtree Realtors.
Now, who's sponsoring the search? Just one guy? Or Dennis, are you letting a lot of people sponsor that search? How are you doing it?
For the brokers, we're going to rotate it through 4 brokers. So,
okay,
like Mingtree would be one of 4. So each time the page loads, it'll be a different broker that's presented as the sponsoring search broker. Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Cool. All right, good.
And so obviously, this is a pretty compelling feature, and right in front of the screen here. So if I was to fill this out and then send it, Mingtree would get me as a potential buyer, regardless of whose listing that is. Okay.
All right, we get it. Go ahead.
Okay. The only disadvantage
really cool.
is you're off the NorCal site right now. That's the only disadvantage. So you have to come back to the NorCal Vacaville site. Okay.
Well, all right.
The other nice feature here is, as you know, Mike, many of the brokers and agents are very active on Facebook. Included in the home seller program is their ability to extend their social reach on the NorCal's real estate site. And so, as you see here with Friends to Follow, they're able to update their real estate postings on Facebook right on and prominently promoted on the NorCal site. And so that's available as additional.
Did you use Friends to Follow? Did you use Friends to Follow's widget for this?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
It's good for you. All right.
Okay. And so that's a nice little added benefit and marketing opportunity for the agent, but a nice revenue source for NorCal. Okay. Then continuing with the model here, we have what we call different spotlights. So as you see here in Eureka, we've got a featured agent spotlight, commercial property, land, rentals, lender, mortgage calculator, etc. And these are sold on an individual basis, and yes, they rotate, as people are accessing the site. And so these are additional revenue and content areas for the site. So any questions on that part? Okay, so it's a nice, clean, simple real estate program that provides NorCal the ability to provide their audience with search and also specific real estate listings, new listings, social media posts, information about local brokers, mortgage lenders, et cetera, et cetera. Okay?
I got a question for you. Since this is living at Homes for Sale, the reporter, homesforsale.thereporter.com, and is there any SEO benefit to any landing pages being created here on any of these spotlights or anything? What's the URL of a spotlight? Can you click on one just so I can look at it?
Sure.
Dennis, do you follow my question?
No, I'm not quite
Click on the okay. For example, here's an agency profile page for Coldwell Banker Realty. Notice that the URL is in your website. It's homesforsale.thereporter.com. You understand? Theoretically, since you have a very high, a popular website on Google, I mean, you have such backlinking coming to you. Have you noticed from any of the other markets, John, that there's strong SEO on this or not? Is that another value proposition?
John Grape, can you answer that question? Because Mike, your point's well taken. I don't personally know.
For that particular question, I don't have an answer. No, I don't know.
It's easy for us to reference and check and all that.
Okay.
Especially since, look, on the title of that page, look on the top of the tab, it says the word Vacaville, California. Think about that. You've got good titling, and you got it in most probably one of the most dominant. I haven't done your search yet because we haven't started building out my speech. But if I type in Vacaville, California only, the reporter's number 4 on Google. I mean, kind of think about that. That's strong in how Google usually takes the local dominant newspaper for a town and gooses it like right up, usually eclipsing the Chamber, sometimes right under, Wikipedia. So it's just something to keep in mind. All right, go ahead, guys. Sorry for interrupting.
No, but I appreciate your insights, Mike. You've got a lot of knowledge and expertise, and whatever you suggest that Dennis concurs with, we will build it into this program along with the presentation piece. Would be pleased to.
I'm just saying that if you're selling, for example, I saw you had a featured lender there. If that page lives for a year and it's cooking on your website, I'm willing to bet over time that page will SEO better than his own damn website because it's linked from the actual domain name of a dominant website in the community, the local newspaper. Am I making sense?
Yeah, that does.
That's just something to keep in Dennis, just keep that in the back of your head.
Okay.
That could become, we're finding that becomes a strong selling, that's one of the reasons everyone's, launching own local directories because it's an SEO tool.
Okay.
Not the digitized print ad. Okay, I'll shut up. I'm
I love your input because together we can create and deliver one heck of a super program along with the results that are going to drive additional business, for the NorCal properties. Okay. Now, if there are no other questions or feedback on the site, let's go to the sales presentation tool that we're building into this program for you guys. Okay. So it's under pulseresearch.com. It's the Had Seller program modified and specifically focused for real estate presentations for NorCal. And so you guys will have your own individual logins, Bob and Mike and Shelly and Mark. And once you log in, let me show you what you're able to do. we've now imported, and thanks very much, Dennis, all of the agents. So they click on accounts, and this is live right now. So all of the accounts that you put together, the realtor accounts, Dennis, are all now live and in the program.
Okay.
Okay. So what does that mean? That's a huge benefit because you can very quickly access, and you can, by the way, search and create a presentation for a realtor. So you just click on create presentation. We click on the one page. It automatically sets up the business category. We'll need your help. It's one of I'm going to send you guys a list, kind of a summary of the to-dos to launch of the various audiences. And this will tie into the packages that you're selling. And I would imagine, and I've looked at the list of what you sent me, Dennis, and I built that into here, by the way, but we also need to know what the net households reached are with the reporter along with, your website, okay? And here are the packages that you sent to me, Dennis. You've got your banner ad package, and I took the liberty, and we can edit it, it's a 52-week package. I just took the monthly rate, Dennis, and just projected it to a 52-week program. So your banner ads, your broker-sponsored search, the featured listing that you saw a moment ago, the social media updates, okay? So they're right there to create a presentation. So let's assume you're making a presentation to that broker. You click on that package. It puts in what an average commission is projected to be. Now we can edit that. So in real time, if the broker's feedback is, our average commission is $7,000, no problem. I'm going to show you in just a minute. You're able to edit it in real time when you're making the presentation. We also put in, well, how much do they make on a listing, after they pay for the marketing costs, et cetera. We'll get into that in just a moment in the presentation itself. And then you can click down here. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be accessing the California real estate purchasing listing information. And this is information that we collect through the National Pulse of America survey, and we get enough responses in California to have California only data. And that, by the way, that data is going to be updated in about 2 to 3 weeks. So now you can select specific information that broker is going to be really interested in, like selling a personal residence, selling a condo. The ones I've made out in the field, the four-legged sales calls I've made over the last roughly 6 months are all interested in getting listings. So when I'm out there doing a presentation, I'm focusing on selling property, okay? But you could also set up the presentation, and I'll show you in just a second how you can edit it in real time. But not only do we have residential real estate plans, but better yet, we have in the research information business real estate plans. And so look at this. We can add to our presentation, that they plan to rent a new office or buy or rent industrial space, et cetera, which I found really compelling when I've been out there making some presentations. One of the brokers told me, my gosh, thank you for this. He said, I forgot all about targeting commercial real estate, okay? So once you've set up the real estate plans here, you just click finish. And now here's a really key part, Mike and Bob, in your presentations, is showing them what they're missing if they're not also on the NorCal real estate site and participating in your marketing package. There is huge fragmentation is documented in the real estate research. And how we ask the question, by the way, in the research is, if you were to buy or list a home in the next 6 months, which of the following real estate sites would you go to get information about local real estate? And here's what they said. And this is the flip of it, the percentage who would not. So for instance, Zillow, 72% would not go to Zillow. That's pretty compelling. 69% would not go to a local agent site. 89% would not go to a local MLS site. 81% would not go to realtor.com. So you can select from the research the specific real estate sites to show them what they're missing by not also promoting their listings or office and the agent promoting themselves on the NorCal site, and hopefully also the packages include the paper. Okay? And then you can show the agent or the broker the return on investment. So we've got a $9,000 program, if I remember here. Let's see, yeah, there it is, 9,000, to show them what it would be with a 10-time return on their investment, which the bank certainly doesn't give. We can also click on add readership, showing that 70%, and this is from the California survey, look at that, 70% of the people who ran a classified ad either sold or got many calls out there. And what it documents is that print is alive and well. So any questions on the setup? You just go to accounts. Every single agent is listed there. You just click on create, and literally within 45 seconds, you can create a very compelling one-page presentation. So you click on save presentation, and you got all of your talking points. Now let me show you, Bob, what you... Go ahead.
No, this is pretty much like a proposal. This would be like the final, think of it like PowerPoint slide that we would use. We need a deck that sort of goes through the sizzle of, depending on what it is that we're proposing, what they get visually, creatively. Mm-hmm. And so
I'm going to do that for you, Dennis.
Okay.
Dennis, we'll be building that for you. Don't worry. That's what we do.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like this. I think this probably has to be done in advance.
Definitely.
So, which is we'll own that. But okay, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Okay. Just to affirm what you said, what you're going to do is the visuals of the package, the offerings, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're going to show is the value in what they're missing if they don't jump on that package.
Right. And
Bob,
then, John.
Bob, hold on. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dennis.
No, I was just going to say, John, can I edit the packages? Because Mike and I constantly are I think we're pretty much where we're at. I have a final version of it. If I have the ability to edit, great. If not, I'll send it to you.
Well, absolutely. We'd be happy to do it for you, Dennis. And you can also
all right.
You can edit in real time. Let me show you how you can do that since you asked.
Right.
We'll just go.
No, hold on. Let me just ask Bob a question. Hold on.
Sure.
Can you hear me? Dennis and John, wait a second. Bob, can you turn off your mute? You chime in right now. Are you with us, Bob?
I'm here.
All right. The stuff I'm looking at looks very similar to the data we were pulling from AdSeller prior to our very successful, that's me, promoting our business. Remember when you were using AdSeller for Black Press up in
Yes.
Washington State?
Yes.
You were using the data sheet in tandem with our pitch deck. Am I correct, sir?
Yes.
All right, so see, Dennis, we don't have to, I'm still going to build you a pitch deck with all the visuals and all the value propositions and the pricing. This will be in Bob's hand in tandem to show create fear of loss based on opportunity to the realtor or agency we're in front of. Do you follow my logic, Dennis?
Yep. Okay. All right, good.
You nailed it.
Did I say that correct, Bob?
You nailed it.
Yeah. John, we're not going to use you for price points, and the reason is because we're selling a blended package. It won't just be the vertical, John. Just like you said, there's going to be some ROP in here as well that really makes this stand out over the Zillows of the world, because this package not only gets you into very high-viewed, highly promoted local vertical, it also gives them the essential branding they want in the marketplace, so someone who doesn't even know they exist may list a home with them. Does that make sense, John Marlin?
Absolutely. It's a 1-2.
So it'll be
Yes.
Yeah. There actually going to be programmatic ads blended into this as well. So it's going to be, we're going to use, what Dennis is going to have to do is generate these like we did up in Washington State in advance of the business. Does that make sense, Dennis? You're in advance of our arrival. Mm-hmm. You're going to give Bob the actual, and Bob is really good at this. He does not take it into the account cold. If anything, he's reviewing it the night before in the hotel room when he's looking at the advertisers, in this case, the realtor's website, their social media, and all that and more. So he will be armed with what he needs for closing. Okay, Bob, did I get that right?
You got it right.
All right, I'll shut up now. Go ahead, John.
Okay, see, Dennis, you asked a question about being able to update the packages. You just click on Settings and Users. Or, excuse me, Site Group Settings. I clicked on the wrong one. And you see here, Dennis, where you have the packages that I put in. You can delete those, or you can create a new package. So if you want
Okay.
So in real time.
Yep, not a problem.
Okay. So now let me show you a new feature that we have since you were at Black Press. Everything now is mobile. So you can show and present and get the realtor's feedback in real time. So I'm going to go over here to Safari, and let's say you're on your iPad, Bob. Okay. So we'll click here and show you what it looks like on an iPad. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, you can, right with the business, you can click on accounts, you can click on create a presentation, you can go through the setup steps, okay? And I'll just do this quickly here. Because what I want to do is show you, when you've already created a presentation, what it looks like in a mobile.
John, you need to select an ad package.
Oh, thank you. There we go. So I'll click a banner ad package in this case. Thanks. And I'll select on the real estate information again, and I'll select a few of those. Good old Zillow. I'll put in the ad readership this time, then I'm going to click on Save Presentation. So Bob, the night before you could create some presentations, and then the next day on your tablet, you can present. You just log in, and on your dashboard, Bob, would be the list of presentations you created. You click on it and walk them right through it. Look at this. So you're showing 10%, 10.6% plan to use a realtor. This is where we'll be working, with Dennis and his team and getting the audience options there for you. Well, how many potential clients is that? What's the average customer value? How much potential? In other words, this is the opportunity statement. Now look at this. You can edit it live now with the business. So if you want to change the offering or package audience, or you want to say, well, I think I can get 3% share of the opportunity. Look at that. They can do it in real time. Now we want to engage with that realtor in terms of their market targeting. And this has been very effective when I've been on four-legged sales calls. Like that broker I mentioned a moment ago. So my gosh, I forgot all about commercial. The talking point here is the opportunity, in potential opportunities for you. You know what you've got. Where can you get more? And I'll give you another story. I was over in Bend, Oregon, using this program, making a presentation, and the realtor told me, he says, look, I've been in business here in Bend in real estate since 1946. There's nothing you can show me. And I said, well, what if there's something that you don't know you should know? And he says, okay, I'll take a look. What he found out was there was far more rentals than he ever thought. So the point is, you get the business engaged. Now look at this. As I mentioned a moment ago, you can edit in real time. So if the business says, or the realtor says, well, I want to know about commercial property, you can just click and you're right into the program, and you click right here on business real estate plans, right with them in real time. That gets their buy-in, that gets their engagement. So you're doing it right on your iPad with them. Okay? Then after you've got their engagement on opportunity targeting, now you can start showing them the fragmentation and what they're missing. I mean, obviously they might say, well, I'm on Zillow, I don't need the local paper in your website because my listings automatically go on 73 different sites. Well, look at the fragmentation. Look at Zillow misses 72% of our audience, and I pointed out a moment ago the number of potential buyers and listings we can deliver for you. So right here, you've got all your talking points. And once again, you can edit that in real time. In other words, if they say, well, I want to know about Trulia, well, you just click and you're right there with your iPad. You come down to Trulia and you add Trulia. Boom, right there. You've got your talking point. Okay. Then you've got your offer, that you're showing them. You get them engaged and excited about that, and they say, well, I don't know if, I'm not comfortable spending that much money signing a contract. You can show them how few new clients they need to pay for the campaign. And you just walk them through it. Look at this. You only need one customer out of the 902. And you walk them through how you got it. Here's the package for banner ads over a year's time. Okay. How much is, and once again, you can edit this. How much is a listing worth to you? Okay, well, my average listing is worth $7,000 to me. Okay, so you can calculate out, well, what do you make on a listing? Okay, well, I make about 70%, to my pocketbook. Okay, so you're walking them right through the program, getting their input so that they're comfortable with that commitment to a consistent campaign with you. Why? Because they realize how few new clients they need out of the total number you have available. And it's realistic because you're getting their input right on your iPad in real time with them. So in summary now, you can, right on your iPad, a smartphone, engage with that realtor, getting their input, showing them where the opportunities are, like that Ben realtor. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize there's so many rental opportunities. And then showing them what they're missing, with the various real estate sites, along with how few clients they need to pay for the campaign. So this is ready to go, and all we need is some further input from you guys, in terms of the audience, get login accounts for everybody set up, and you'll be ready to go. So let me be quiet for a moment here, and I appreciate any feedback, et cetera, on both the site now, but also the setup and being able to make a presentation in real time with them.
Well, all I've got to say on this is who's going to do the homework? Once the target list of realtors is set up after my workshop, and after the teams target the realtors that Bob's going to be calling on, which obviously Bob is being spread among 3 markets. And he's got to call on a lot of retail too. So it's not going to be like we're calling on more than 3 or 4 per market. Do you agree, Dennis? I mean, how do you plan to allocate that?
Yeah,
right.
And so
Dennis,
we really want to limit Bob's effort to the rainmakers and or brokers. And so we'll have those identified. Hopefully they'll be at the workshops, and those will be the people we want Bob to target. And we will do the legwork on pulling, as we mentioned, the presentation. I think what John's going over probably is more apropos for the sales reps, once we get real close to presentation date or right after your workshop, really making sure they understand how to use this. Yeah.
So logistically, why don't we say, Dennis, I hate to put it on you, you or one of your minions, once the final schedule is set up, will generate this data for Bob and send it via PDF to him as quick as you can so he can study it before the appointment. Whether it's 2 days before, a week before would be better. Don't you agree, Bob, if you'll unmute for a second?
Yeah, a day or 2 is fine. Like, with my limited attention span, I don't know that I would retain it for a week.
My next question then is, Dennis, I only got 75 minutes with an action-packed workshop. But at the realtor events, I'd like to tease the realtors with proprietary research we can generate if you set up an appointment. Does that make sense, then? Thus, we will generate this home seller report. Does that make sense?
Yeah, good.
I would like you to generate for me in the next week or so the best report you can noodle through this thing that shows the best opportunity for a local realtor that you'd be comfortable for me to show at all 3 realtor events. Doesn't have to be like I could be showing a woodland realtor in Vacaville. Does that make sense? But if you could find one that creates such loss aversion, you see, because that's why John is such a genius. John, I'm blowing smoke at you, because what his stuff does do what we preach. It creates loss aversion. It gets someone going, damn, I'm missing the boat. And that's what we want. If I could say at the end, let me show you an example of this proprietary research, brand new, exclusive to this community, and show we got the permission to show this for this local realist, you see, or this local market. And I show 3 or 4 data points at the end. I bet that could get a lot of realtors clamoring for a point. Do you agree?
I agree. Absolutely. So we'll want, like you just said, we'll want to show, it won't be this boring, but sort of an ROI, like, oh, by the way, you know, I want to prove to you that, you know, the opportunity would just, if you make your ad dollars work harder, you could boost your return on investment, and then go through just the one sheeter, just a couple of points, and you know, you're not telling them, oh, we're launching a website. It's just, if you just made your ad dollars work a bit harder and or, you know, advertise, whatever, here's the potential. And it's real because this is from a survey of brokers, agents in California, yada, yada, yada. So, yep, absolutely. I can pull that together for you.
And let me.
All right, just send me one. Go ahead, I'll shut up.
Let me jump in, Mike. Mike, you just triggered something I should have shown you. We already have built into the program exactly what you want. We call it teasers. So look at this. You're on the prospect page, which is the real estate business categories. You click on teaser, and boom, you've got those talking points you just talked about. Okay, and we could set this up by audience.
Yeah, but I'd rather. I want to show them hard data like it's an official report. That's what, you know, that's the kind of, you know, we're going to generate some data for you. Like, you know, yeah, I love this. This is great. That's a good talking point.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it in Dennis's hands, because he gets it. He knows exactly to noodle through this and get me one that I can use in my last 4 slides, realtor event only.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll use the AdMall report for the business events. Does that make sense, Dennis?
Yep. Yes.
And then if you'll do one sample report for me that shows the loss aversion, then when people fill out their forms at the end, we'll generate reports for, you know, this will actually set up a lot of appointments for you, I think. This will be good.
I think so too. Yep.
Good.
Okay.
John, you realize, of course, John, I don't know how old you are, but do you remember a show called Max Headroom? Because that's exactly who you sounded like during this whole damn presentation. I don't know if that rings a bell to anyone. Yeah, you were sounding. Is that what you were hearing, Dennis? A little digital going.
Yeah.
It was great. All right, Bob, do you have any other questions?
Yeah. Hey, John, I wasn't seeing the screen, but I totally get the concept with mobile. My question is, will that render on an iPhone screen, or would that be too small?
You know, you can also do it on an iPhone. Let me flip back to that, and it's in the recording. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do it. Here's how it looks on an iPhone, everybody. So yes, you can, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Okay, so you've got the ability now to engage in real time with that realtor. It's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, anything else, Paul's going to
That's it for me. I'm clear.
Anxious to hit this one out of the ballpark for you guys.
No, what I'd like for you to do, John, is send me and Bob and me a link to this recording as soon as you can, and send us both in that same email our login credentials.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave it to Dennis to noodle through it, or one of his minions, and generate for us, at least for me, the sample data. And I'm also going to leave it for Dennis to generate the reports for Bob after all the appointments are set. Because Bob will have no idea Bob's going to be in market before this. He'll be busy selling in another city before he comes out to you. So I'll leave it to Dennis to then do the report generation. I want Bob to understand all the value propositions of the site. But after looking at it, it's not brain surgery. It's a damn good site. In the meantime, Dennis, John, which markets have you been up for in a while, over 6 months? Have you got one of these things live for a while cooking somewhere?
Oh yeah, all, you know, across North America.
You have HomeSeller up in a lot of cities?
No, not 600. I was speaking of AdSeller.
No, HomeSeller,
no,
the actual physical site.
I'll put John, and I'll get back to you on that. John Grafe and I will, okay, on HomeSeller, okay?
Because what I'd like to do is check some SEO. We usually find Google takes about 6 months to find landing pages. And just for grins and giggles, I just like to take a look around.
Okay.
So if there's a URL of a site that's been cooking for a while, we know how to look at source codes, figure out the keywording, go to Google. There might be a story there, if you know what I mean.
Hey, Prescott, Arizona comes to mind. They've gotten pretty good traffic and results with HomeSeller. Prescott.
Send me a link to that one because, theoretically, even, Dennis has got a site going with Own Local right now. Everybody, I'm going into WIC next week. All they're talking about is all the revenue they're generating from it. But basically, it's an SEO tool, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. So you may have the same value proposition you're missing in your pitch. I'd like to take a quick look at it if you do not mind, sir.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Anything
I appreciate your valuable time, gentlemen. Thank you.
And Dennis?
Yep, I think we're good.
All right, awesome. Thanks, everybody.
All righty. Talk to you soon, John.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.